Okay, here we go. I'm hoping you all can hear my voice over the music there. We're about to find out. All right, so the big question is, can everybody hear me in the chat? Let me know. This new setup was literally just finished. That's awesome. So I replaced this device, this little thing. It's the Fi-Fine. This is like a $40, $50 little mixer. Not anything too special, but it was working for a few weeks there. But another friend of mine stepped up and replaced it with the Rodecaster Pro II, which is a much bigger, much more professional device. And so it's taken me a few hours today to get it into the same configuration that I had this little thing in. And I think I've got it all set up. So the fact that you could hear me is a great first sign. Yes. All right. Yeah, so, how is the sound? Is it as good as last week? About the same? I mean, this Rodecaster has a setting for this microphone specifically to do, all the things it's supposed to do. And the Rodecaster has all the stuff for ducking and pitch correction and just all the other audio processing is just built into it. It's amazing. But I do think I got one that might need some warranty work. Because while everything it's actually supposed to do works fine, it's got a big LED screen on it, and it just randomly gets a bunch of lines up and down on it and across, and they make it hard to see some of the sections of it. So I think it might have gotten bounced around a little in shipping. Who knows? But it's working, so maybe I don't care. I'm not really too fancy like that as long as it's functional. We'll see what they have to say. Maybe there's a software setting or something I messed up. So, how's it going, everybody? It's been about a week. I'm still, working on feeling better here. I've had a couple of those doctor's visits that I said, and they went the way they were supposed to. All I heard was, yay, the meds we have you on are working. So I feel like we are in a good spot there. I've got 4 more doctor's visits coming up over the next week. So we'll see how that goes. One of the things I said I would do last week, which chat seemed to be cool with, was kind of show the setup that we're testing here. So I recorded a little video just a few minutes ago so I could, have the camera that's in front of me doing the recording before I put it back on the mount. And I want to play that just to kind of show everyone what we're working with here and what we get to play around with. And who knows, maybe someone has some more ideas on things I can do here. But the setup is fine now, I think. Let's check that out. All right, everyone. So told you all I was going to show you the setup last time. So I figured we could start off here with a little run through of the whole setup. We've got the iMac here that does the work of actually broadcasting everything out. We've got over here the setup with all the lighting and the microphone, and we've got the stream decks. That there is the little KVM, so I can switch this keyboard and mouse to that without having to slide all the way over there if I need to change anything. Of course, the headphones I'm going to have to wear during streams. This is the Rodecaster Pro II, which just arrived yesterday, and I've been trying to get it set up and working. I think I've got it going now. You can see me talking and see it going into the thing. Up here on the screen, I've got my little, timer so I can see how long I've been going. All my little stuff, screen we might do anything on right there. The setup is pretty clean. I really hate cables hanging down, so there's very little of that going on here. All of these cables up here on this table are killing me, and I'm going to figure out how to remove most of them or get them hidden, because I hate it. They're messy. They are messy. And then over here on the other side of the room, we've got my standing desk set up. So this little pad keeps my feet from, killing me when I stand at my laptop here. My MacBook here is just one of the M1s. It's a decent little system. It works. And I get a lot of time standing every day on that. And then for all the people that were really wondering about, like, my health stuff, I figured I would show you my room where I do all of my current working out. We've got the rowing machine, we've got the bench, we've got the weights, we've got the board there, the balance board, which I'll sometimes use over on the standing machine too. And then we've got my bike, which is really cool because it's got this on it, and so I can put my laptop there, and I can sit here for, half an hour getting the writing in that I need to get in, and still be, doing stuff and feeling like I'm getting things done. And of course, it's got the fan up in the ceiling there. I'm sure it's a little bright. This camera's white balance is set weird. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's the basics of my setup here. It's pretty simple. This is, of course, the computer that's powering me streaming. This is powering the monitors and all those extra pieces and all that, and then this just does the stream. This I do a lot of working out in too. This is the Quest 2. I use Beat Saber, and Synth Riders is my favorite thing to do in the whole thing. I'll spend half an hour in Synth Riders every morning. I get about 2 hours in every morning on this and in the room over there. And yeah, that's the setup. Good times. So yeah, that's the setup, everyone. And this is why we do test streams, because that's the first time we've tried to play a video in this whole setup. And it turns out I cannot monitor the sound output in these headphones without it echoing on you. So I got to figure that one out. That'll be something I'll play around with later. Now that we know. But I also know how to stop the echo, so that's great. That was actually a pretty easy fix too. Good times. Yeah. So this is I'm using OBS, and I had the thing set to do the monitor and output. But it's all going into the Rode to be mixed there. And then the Rode was going back. And so the whole Rode was, the whole main mix was going back there and getting played out OBS. And it had it in there again. So yeah, definitely kill the system audio. I did it backwards this time. I will play with it using the recording stuff. My voice is rather quieter than it was on the video. That's interesting. Okay. Well, I obviously have different faders for the video that was playing over here and what's going on over here. Do we like the voice level where it is, or did we like it better where it was on the video? Do we want to play with this a little? Because this little mixer over here, I can just slide the thing around. All right, cool. Perfect. I thought I'd played with it a little. Yeah, I got it just below where the peaking is, and with the Rode, I've got ducking going and all the other fun stuff on there. So I think we're at the right place here. You saw my little current time and stream timer that's up there on that monitor that I used to kind of see where I am in the stream. It was the craziest thing. After the last stream, I realized I couldn't see a clock anywhere in my field of vision. There's just none anywhere here, and my taskbar auto hides to get it out of the way for all of this, and so I just had no idea what it was, how long I'd been going, anything. So I thought, I bet someone makes a clock that lets you see the clock and the timer it's running at the same time. No. Any of you can find that on Amazon or anywhere else on the web, or an app that shows you both at the same time in big letters that you can read. I will call that a miracle, because I went searching. And you can get great looking clocks that have like neon colors, so they're really bright and they stand out. And then when you do the timer, it takes over the whole interface, So I just, went straight to ChatGPT and said, make me this in HTML, CSS, and Alpine JS. And it spit that out first try, and it was fully functional and working. So I could have programmed it, but why? That took me like 5 seconds. So I got what I wanted. It just runs in a browser window here locally instead of being like something hanging on my wall. I would still love an actual like decent looking clock that does that I can hang behind here so I get the screen space back, because that is where I had Discord, and it figures like, I should still be able to see my Discord server on that side, but I want to also see everything else. ChatGPT is just really killing me at this point, like in that good, bad way, I can see which of my friends are going to have trouble getting work in the next years. And then I can see which ones need to upgrade and get good at using ChatGPT to do their job, so they can be the ones who take a lot of that work. It's going to be interesting to watch all of that. So what does everyone want to talk about? I came here for my second stream because it's kind of got to be short. It's in between me going to another appointment. My big doctor's appointment, the one that's probably going to knock me out for a day or two, is on the 10th. So I should, on the 10th and 11th. So I should be, not too bad after this one, but it's just going to be on and on. I will say one thing that I think a lot of people would already have recognized if they'd, known me for a while. I have friends who have, gotten up to my age, anywhere mid-30s to early 40s, in those ranges, that have finally, late in life, gone and gotten their ADD/ADHD, depending on where they are on that, spectrum, that version of things, diagnosis, and come back and been so much more focused and gotten so much more done. And the third one, a couple weeks ago, finally, called me up and said, hey, so I got mine, I'm on my meds, and you need to go get looked at. You're worse than I was, and you're not on anything. Imagine what you could do if you were on, the right drugs for your ADHD. And I said, I don't know, whatever. But I did call my doctor and set up that appointment to at least go get it looked at, because I do know I have the focus problems. Like one of the video editing tasks I've got to do is go through about 300 little clips, and I get through 5, and then I'm already in my head fighting with, what can I do besides this? How do I procrastinate or leave this space? And I don't even dislike the video editing. I really like it. It's just, it seems to be how my head works. So we're going to see if maybe that helps a little. So my friend that actually is around that age is 36. His name's Chris. He's out in Chicago. And I used to have a little programming side gig with him, with his company. I would help them with some product stuff. And they, his boss finally sent him and just said, look, you've got to go to the doctor for this. And it was mostly his inability to focus on one task and the amount of projects he would start and never finish. He probably had 20 little programming projects off to the side. He has a band. And I think he has somewhere along the lines of 700 songs that he still hasn't finished, because he writes half a song, sets it off to the side, and then doesn't go back to it. Like, he just procrastinates a lot. And he pushes things to the side by creating another thing to do. And after he went through all of the testing that they have available for this, they were very clear that they don't understand why he hadn't come in 20 years earlier. And what he's learned on the meds for the last about year now, I think he's been on it for like 10 months. And we had a great conversation a month ago about this, is that almost everything on his to-do list, everything that he had half finished that he actually wanted to finish and wasn't just some made-up project to pass time, to procrastinate with, but was a real thing he wished he had finished, he's already done with. He's already blasted through them. And new projects he starts, he finishes them. He doesn't move on to something else. It's like this miracle space where he doesn't understand how people actually work like this. And after he described it to me in that way, I looked at how I go, and a lot of my ability in the activist spaces that I'm in to react to the now and do a thing today because something happened is kind of related to this issue, I think. It's kind of related to I want something else to do right now other than what I'm supposed to be doing. And so my brain kind of operates in that way. And I don't want to lose that because it seems to have, done a lot for me. But I have 100 projects that I wish I had finished over the last, few years that I know can be attributed to these type of symptoms. Whether it means I need the meds or not, we'll leave that to the doctors. I'm not going into it assuming I need them. I'm going into it with many friends who have made the step and done the work, telling me that I need them badly. Some of them that I look at and I know didn't have the problems anywhere near as bad as I do. So I'm going to go look. I'm going to try. We're going to see what that looks like. One thing I would ask, since a few of you in here are, some of my close friends, if, let's say, a week from now, I say, guess what? They want to put me on the meds. And I go on these meds and you notice, on stream over the next few weeks past that, because that's really when my streaming is going to start, that I'm not me anymore and that something's wrong. Please tell me, it's going to be live. Everyone's going to get to watch. So I'm always happy for those conversations. I've always been an open book. So we'll also have to see what those meds do with what they have for all my other health stuff. I take the Protonics, I take Symbicort, I take all those things related to my long COVID, and then the asthma it gave me. And so we're just going to find out. Over the next couple weeks, we'll learn this one together. But I might need ADHD meds, and if I do, we'll see what that lets me accomplish. Who knows? Good times. I love all these little toys on my desk, and at the same time, as I said in the video, I do not like seeing cables. I'm definitely I'm not OCD. I know people who are OCD, and I wouldn't insult them by saying I am. But whatever it is, like a third of the way to that, and specifically about cable messes, that's what I have, whatever that is. So there are still as you saw under the desk in that video, there are no cables visible other than the ones that absolutely have to go down to the UPS. And they go down behind the pole that holds the desk up, right? I've got them tied back there. And then all the ones that would be on the ground are in one of those little wire boxes. And so, the rest are all tied up underneath of the desk, like they're right on the bottom of the desk there. That's why they're not hanging down. But all these ones on top of the desk, I'm thinking I might drill another hole in the desk and have them drop down right behind the devices so I don't see them at all. I don't know. It's a thought. We'll have to see. I've already put one big hole in this desk. This desk has I don't even understand how this thing is still standing. This is an IKEA desk that I got in 2010. And it is still somehow surviving and fine after 5 moves, being torn all the way down and rebuilt 20 times. Just amazing. Yeah, that was another crazy thing. The cables and that specific type of mess. When I talked to my doctor and I gave some initial things, she asked a question about clutter and about the cleanliness of my workspaces. And I told her about the cables and about, how I am about it and how I literally cannot sit here at my keyboard. If this was any worse, I wouldn't be on stream with you right now. I would be working on it again. So I explained this all to her, and I showed her a picture of it before she really just set up the testing for me. She wanted at least more than me just saying, hey, I think I might have this, because, for all I know, for all she knows, I saw a TV commercial like everyone else, and, they were advertising, and they shouldn't be. I just don't believe those commercials should be allowed. But, yeah, she specifically pointed out that the way I treat the clutter on my desk is possibly related to this. So it's just another piece to the puzzle, so we'll see. I also do the things you should see. My legs are pumping up and down right now. I can't sit still right. It's so yeah. So maybe I have it. Who knows? Maybe the meds will help. I have no idea what they're giving me. I'm going in on the 10th for testing to find out if I get something or not. Random friends of mine have ended up on everything from Adderall to Vyvanse for these various symptoms, so I really don't know. But I've waited way too long. If I get this and it does help me get through all of the tasks that I've been putting off and slows some of the the badder habits I have, or at least the more annoying habits I have, like annoying to myself, not necessarily everyone else, I'm just going to hate it for a week because I could have done this, 20, 30 years ago. And, what else would I have accomplished, right? And I know that's just beating myself up, and, I shouldn't beat myself up like that. But you know how humans work. I know those thoughts are going to come. I'll fight them off. Maybe stream can help me with that. Okay, yeah, I might get that. We'll have to see. Huh. Just the way you described that already has me thinking that's going to bother me. Yeah, so here we are. I keep looking over because this is my first time streaming with the Rodecaster here, and I'm kind of watching what it does and looking at what the faders are doing and watching the screen because I want to kind of get used to this machine and also get used to being able to see it out of the corner of my eyes and know what it's doing. So it's got a lot of visuals to it. It's got everything's colorful. The screen right now is running fine. It doesn't have all those lines on it, and it's got just a tons of stuff on it. This thing's crazy. I can do all kinds of routing of the audio, effects. I can do stuff like this, which
will now make me a robot. Look at that. I mean, it's all built into this. The craziness.
And it does this one.
Look at that. I am now with this really weird voice, and I don't know what I sound like. I'm not hearing the monitor on this one, but I heard it in the video earlier, so I'm guessing it's a really low, bassy reverb voice.
And then there is this voice, which I think it's named... This one right here is named Megaphone, and I know what a megaphone sounds like, and this, to me, in the video I watched, didn't sound like a megaphone, or at least not strong enough. I don't know what you guys think about it. Maybe 50s radio, yeah, that's a better sound for it. That is what it kind of sounded like. But now I've just got buttons for those things. And I've got like 20 more buttons I can make do things. They can play sounds, they can distort my voice, they can do all kinds of crazy things. Yeah, it's an amazing device. I definitely do not deserve this one and cannot afford it in any way. I'm very glad. Adam, if you're catching this one, thanks for sending that over. One of my old friends, old roommates, another one that I had for a little while, Chef, amazing guy. He hooked this one up. Funny enough, because he's going to start streaming in a couple months. He's a chef. He's worked at Michelin star restaurants. He's really good, and he wants to get it down. And he said he wants to use this exact device. And he asked me if I knew how to use it. And I said, I have no idea how to use it. I really want one. And he said, what if I buy you one? You figure it out for the next few months. And in spring, when I'm ready to go, you're gonna show me how to use mine and set mine up. And I was like, that would be a very fair thing. Yes, please. So here we are with a Rodecaster Pro II. I love the thing. This mic is amazing. Thank you again, Alistair. This, I mean, none of that would sound at all good without this thing. And what's great is the Rodecaster has a setting where you can say, I've got a Shure SM7B, and then it just auto-tunes all of its settings for this specific mic. So it's interesting because Rode makes their own mics and they've got all their own models. But this one is in there too. Good luck on the CompTIA. Yeah, definitely. Which one? Let us know how you did in the next stream. Nice. Well, good luck on that. I hope you get through it. As many certs as you can build up. They always look good on the resume. Yeah, I didn't have much else to say for this stream. I had about an hour. We've got about a half hour left. I don't know what anyone wants to do on this one. I don't have Mac here. I don't have a bunch of news lined up. This was more just getting the equipment set right. Now I know what I've got to do back here to set the settings right so we don't get that echo again. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely amazing stuff here. The one thing that I am missing is this computer right here. Above it, you might have seen in the video, there's a monitor stand with no monitor on it. And my idea for that is I could get a little screen and put it right here. And that way I can just tilt my head over and it'll be a mirror of the screen that's way back there. So I don't have to do this to see OBS. And then if I've got the screen here and I've got my little KVM here, that I can just reach over, hit a button, play with OBS, hit another button, and never really leave the stream, you know? And I really want that. What is the image on the shirt? It is a tree done like circuitry. This was sold at DEF CON 3 years ago, I think. I got it. It's like a circuit tree, as in circuitry. Absolutely. This is one of my DEF CON shirts. I think I've got about 20 of them. All kinds of interesting stuff comes out of DEF CON. I do want to show you guys. My favorite thing I got at DEF CON this year was, at this year's DEF CON, was just, it was mind-blowing. It was the last day. I was about an hour away from leaving to go to my flight, and I had my bags with me, and someone came up from behind me and said, "Hey, you knew Aaron Swartz, didn't you?" And I said, "Yes, he was a friend. We, very sad." And he handed me this, and I want to show you guys this. So I don't know how it looks on stream there, but I'm going to get it close up. It's hard to kind of line it up with where I'm sitting, but it's I'll take a picture of it and post it too. But it's like a $10 bill that says it's got Aaron Swartz's face on it, and it says United States of Hackers. And it's just a brilliant little piece. It's a sticker. When I have the better camera with better autofocus and whatnot, we'll get past that. But like where it has the seal, it actually says DEF CON on it. And in the beginning of the serial number, like all bills have, it has DC 31. For DEF CON 31 and all that. And it's a really cool little piece, and I love it. It was really nice to get this one. I don't know. It teared me up for a moment when I looked at it because I still miss Aaron, as everyone should. Things would have been better with him still here. But I have a lot of those. I have so many little things from DEF CON. Maybe one stream will do a thing where I kind of pull out some of the cooler ones that I've gotten like that. People walk around with so much swag, so much stuff they're giving out. I have all kinds of badges, electronic ones that play games, play music. I have all kinds of, so many stickers like that. I have my the butt coin from Back Orifice that CDC was giving out. Death Veggie gave me one of those, which was awesome. Just got a lot of those things. So I think we should definitely do part of a stream where I show like the coolest merch and swag you can find at DEF CON. The coolest stuff you can find is always in the electronics area where people are selling, various brand new hacker tools and whatnot. The lockpick sets there aren't necessarily the best. Like there were some pretty cheap ones there this year. But they were good to play around with in the lockpicking village. You could still use them to get through if you had any skill. They had a bunch of interesting locks there. They had a few with the serrated security pins in them, and at the table I was at, no one had played with the serrated pin locks before, and so I only had the cheapest little set that they had there because someone had set one on the table for us to play with. One of the people we were standing around with, and it took me like 4 times as long as it should have to pick that lock. But I showed a couple of the others how to do it, and I was really happy with getting the chance to show people how to get into that one because those ones are really freaking annoying. And with a better lockpick set, I would have done it a lot faster. So that's, the thing a lot of people don't realize about DEF CON is, there are some hacking villages, there are things like that, but there's also the voting village, there's the social engineering village, there's the lockpicking village, there's all these places, And at the voting village, while there were a lot of machines to hack and play around with and see what you could do, and most of the modern ones, one of the bigger talks was about why even bother. And the point was made by Chris Krebs, former CISA, that we're living in a world now where if the voting machines tell the truth or they don't is irrelevant, because the voters and the people, especially the MAGA types and the Republican side, aren't going to believe the numbers if they aren't in their favor. So all the work we're putting into secure election hardware is almost not needed, because it doesn't matter if the machines tell the truth, because no one will believe the results anyways. And that's a much bigger problem. And we're all sitting there in this, of course, big hacker space, all ready to talk about hardware and, how to get into these things, and especially how to get Doom running on all these, which is, what happened not last year, but the year before. So a college team did get Doom running on the voting machines. We heard him just talking about on a panel about how it didn't matter if the machines told the truth or not. And that was really disheartening, because he was right. It really doesn't matter, does it? They're just going to say that it's all a lie, that it was fixed, that you can't believe the numbers, and their base is going to believe them. So I don't know what we do about that one. I definitely don't want a second civil war. As I understand, the first one, a lot of people died, and that's not a good thing. While you might disagree politically with a lot of the people out there who are on the other side, I don't want them dead. I just want them smarter. Like, if a genie pops up and says, what's your wish? My wish isn't all of them dead. My wish is, could they all get about 20 IQ points? Just pop it up a little. Just let them actually understand what's really going on and finally figure things out. I don't know. I just think that'd be a better solution to things. Yeah. So, does anyone in chat have anything they actually want to talk about? Anything about the setup? Anything about what's going on with me for the next week or so before we really start actually trying to do streams again? Mac was supposed to come over today, and he was going to be a little bit of a surprise guest on the show, but he's actually feeling a little under the weather, and he's only surviving the day on Dayquil, I think. So that didn't end up working out. I don't know if it's compatible worldview. I would say my biggest issue is that there's got to be a level of stupid involved, ignorance maybe, if you believe what Donald Trump is saying and you yell, lock her up, but he's the one with 91 indictments and you don't believe any of them. Like you start putting these puzzles together and there's no logical sense to the patterns of belief they have. You can't put 5 things they believe together and make it logical. And to me, that's some level of stupid. Who knows? That's definitely for people smarter than me to figure out. But I'm not against doing shows with Cortana. Definitely going to be interesting. There are a lot of people that are against me doing shows with Cortana. I have heard from no less than 20 people who have said don't. But I don't know. I just don't hate the guy. I've always liked Kurt. Maybe not in the 2008, 2009 era. Back then we might have been mad at each other a little. But I don't hate the guy. I think it'd be fun to do another stream here or there, talk about what's going on, get the world an update on him. But I don't think it needs to be 3 times a week. I think we need to come up with more things to do. I would like to grow the stream a lot. And so the idea is going to be doing these live streams and then kind of following. I would say not putting myself in their category because God, are they good at this? But following the Ludwig and Moist Critical kind of patterns where you're doing, hours of live streaming, and then the next morning that's getting cut up into 10 to 15 minute, videos that are getting put up on YouTube, and then down into, 20 to 60 second shorts that are getting posted to YouTube and TikTok and Instagram Reels. Doing all those extra steps it takes to actually grow the stream, right? Because it looks like most of the people I can see are growing their streams with YouTube Shorts. Like that's where most of the traffic is coming from right now. I don't personally understand it. Shorts aren't my thing, but if it's what's working, let's try. So I have about 280 shorts sitting in Opus Clips that I need to go through. It's an AI system that automatically pulls shorts out of long streams. And I gave it 5 of my old shows to go through, and it pulled out that many. I think personally, only maybe 50 are going to be good. That's still a good rate because I uploaded these in about 5 minutes and then, walked away and came back, and here they were. But I have to go through and review them all, do minor edits. It does the auto transcription and puts the text over the video, and so that's going to take like a little editing because it misspells things. Like when you say DDoS, it does not know how to spell that. So you have to go edit the transcript real quick before you export it. Yeah, absolutely. I had a Brazilian guy drive me to the documentary shoot yesterday. And I went to shoot for the German documentary that's happening about all the symbols of protest and activism. And he was my favorite driver I've ever had. This guy, we talked about Ayrton Senna, my favorite, Formula One driver of all time, followed closely by Michael Schumacher, but, that's showing my age. But we talked about a lot of things, and then it came to, talking about, say, places we've been. And I said, oh, yeah, my favorite place I've been is probably Japan. And he says, Anata wa Nihongo ga wakarimasu ka? And I, of course, say, hi, watashi wa Nihongo ga wakarimasu. Demo mada jouzu ja arimasen. And then he breaks into like 5 other languages. And the guy it turns out he knows like 15 languages, and he's driving an Uber. And it blew my mind. And what I found out was he used to work at the Brazilian consulate, and he just didn't like working for that government anymore. And he was having fun setting his own hours driving Uber. He was enjoying it. So I was like, okay, cool. I've just, it's rare to see someone who speaks 15 language fluently working that job. It was an interesting ride all the way to the shoot. I did show up having already talked for like an hour, which I shouldn't have done because I should have rested my voice. But it is what it is, So what do we got going on here? When I was talking about the people who refuse to admit they're wrong. Yeah, absolutely. They will just make it make their point of view always fit. Not much I think we can honestly do about that. I've talked to many groups. There's the Red and Blue group. There are like 3 or 4 nonprofits who make it their job to create environments that are similar to those really awkward dinner tables at Thanksgiving where your uncle has shown up, and boy, does he not agree with anyone else, and boy, does he like Trump. They try and build those rooms in different cities and, get people into them who have all these different beliefs, and then pose questions to them that might lead you to common ground. Places where you could at least talk about things you do agree on, and then see where it goes from there. And I like the general idea, but it's never really. I've been in a couple of them. I've done the test. I've gone and I've tried, and while we've come to some common ground, it's never been on the big issues. I've never heard people in those rooms agreeing on immigration. Or whether Hillary or Trump is the one who has to go to prison, right? So it's interesting, but I do wonder if there is a solution out there at all. I have trouble believing there is. Yeah, he did not want to work for Bolsonaro, so he left the consulate at that point, because technically being, in the Brazilian consulate, you were working for Bolsonaro. And now that he enjoys the job, he just doesn't want to go back for the new guy either. Lula's just, doesn't hate him, but not his guy. So we just had a fun talk about all the languages, the places he wants to visit, the reasons he knew these languages, and it was really fun. I enjoyed that a lot. It was also good to just kind of clear any nerves, get my head in the right space before I went in for the interview. The interview was a whole thing. You guys are going to see whenever the documentary comes out, but let me tell you, I walk into this little room that's half the size of the room I'm in now, and it's dark because I've got to get the lighting right so the light's on me and everything for the cameras. And it's an hour and a half before I'm finally, being shot. And it's due to the fact that we didn't actually have a studio set for me to go to until very last minute. It's not their fault. A lot of things happened. But when we get there, I'm wearing a pink shirt because I like bright colors. I mean, this is probably one of the darkest colors I'm going to wear. I like bright pinks, bright yellows. It's what I enjoy. And so I'm wearing one of my bright pink shirts, acting, like I'm some Italian guy, And right on camera, because the interviewer is actually in Germany. He was connected through Zoom, and they had his face like right next to the camera, so I could act like I was talking to camera, but I was talking to him. And he looks at me and says, "You aren't wearing a black shirt." And I said, "I wasn't told to wear a black shirt." And he said, "David never told you to wear a black shirt?" And I said, "Nope. I brought a darker than pink shirt. I've got a maroon shirt, just in case like this didn't work with the lighting." He's like, "Maroon's not dark enough either." Every one of the 5 episodes has a color, and everyone being interviewed in each episode is wearing the same color. And for your episode, it's black. Now, the photographer looks at me, and he gets this look on his face like he's really sorry for me for what is about to happen. And he walks over, and he gets on camera, and he says, he can wear my shirt. And the guy has a button-up black shirt on. Just a nice collared black shirt. Simple. It'll go right over the pink, and the pink will stick out a little, so it'll actually look decent. And he looks me right in the eyes and says, "I'm sorry, I sweat a lot. I don't think we have another option." And I said, "I don't mind," because I thought, maybe it would be kind of damp. He took that thing off, and I held it in the air, and it dripped. When he says he sweats a lot, oh my fucking God, he sweats a lot. Nicest guy in the world. But dude, so I put that on, even though like it was like, oh my God, I could just feel his sweat all over. Like, So if at any point in the documentary they leave a part in where I look like I'm feeling uncomfortable in the clothing I'm wearing, you know why. Holy crap, that was sure an event. I of course came home and told Anna about the fact that I was sitting on a hardwood stool that was only 3 feet off the ground, and I was sitting there for hours, so that hurt. And then I was wearing someone else's sweaty shirt and so on and so on. She said, "You have the right to back out of these. You could have just left." I was like, "I guess." I hadn't really thought of that. I could have put them off for half an hour, gone somewhere, pick some stuff up, and then build them, I guess. But I never think about that stuff in the moment. I just go with the flow. Like I'm used to ending up in uncomfortable situations through a lot of the activism I do, especially the amount of times I get arrested. So, like, whatever, I guess. But I'm still actually feeling that chair. Like, oh my God, sitting on that little wooden stool hurt. It was only about this big around. It was like 7 or 8 inches around, and I'm balanced on that little stool for 3 hours. I just have no idea what was going on there. So if I look uncomfortable in any of that video, you will know why. Multiple reasons. And again, just for anyone who wasn't here last week, when I look this way, I have chat in this window over here. So that's me looking at chat over there. I mean, I would not use that word, Ricardo. That is definitely a little far for me personally to take it, But I definitely feel like my wife was right, and I could have backed out for a few minutes and done that a little better. But we went back and looked at the emails, and no one had told me to bring a black shirt. So definitely, I showed up just not knowing. But I think the questions were really good. I think he's telling a good story with it. I like where he's going with the whole narrative of the entire series. So I really hope we get that in a translated form or with subtitles or something. Because I have no idea. I think they're going to dub it into German for the German stuff. They might subtitle it. There might be multiple versions of it. We'll see what they do and how we watch it. Yeah, if that was for drama's sake, that is kind of hilarious. But I don't think so. I really enjoyed working with these guys for the last few weeks, just the back and forth, getting everything set up. And they had a lot of really good guests. For anyone who does want to see this when it comes out, whenever it comes out, they had Gabriella Coleman on. They they got Daniel Lloyd, the actual designer of the Guy Fawkes mask for the movie and for the books and everything, all of it. Just like the designer of the mask, they had him as part of this episode too. So you're going to get to hear from him, what he thinks about all of this. I had gotten to talk to him early on in this when the mask had started blowing up. I had, excuse me. I doxed him. Let's just be clear about it. I got a good email for him, and I reached out just saying, hey, I'm one of these guys, and I kind of proved that I was one of the ones who helped choose the thing, and maybe we could meet up and hang out sometime. And him being over in London and randomly in New York, we never got the point to actually meet up, but we've stayed in touch randomly. So that's always been interesting getting to talk to him. I want to talk to Frank Miller too, but I never went that far. I just didn't. Daniel Lloyd was the one who designed the mask. I wanted to talk to him, I did, of course, tell the simple fact that that was hard for them to wrap their heads around, that we had chosen the mask both for the practical reasons of it was the only mask available in every city we were going to protest, and so we ended up with no choice. But the reason the mask made it on our list, and the reason the mask was part of the Epic Fail Guy meme and all the other stuff at the time, was that this was someone who was an epic failure. I mean, Guy Fawkes never accomplished anything correctly. Dude got caught, messed up. This was an utter failure. And we were choosing him as, our symbol, the symbol of an absolute utter failure. And I was asked things like, well, did you choose it because, you choose the failure and then you can, bring him to success? And I was like, I really wish we were that smart. We didn't think about any of that. So I have no idea. We went on a whole line of questioning that I won't repeat. That's not something that's going to be in it. That was all pre-stuff. I won't repeat it because out of, just nicety to them and everything, we should all watch the documentary when they're done editing it. Whew. It was fun though. I like shooting those things. I enjoy figuring out what story they're trying to tell and where they're going with it and who they think could tell the story. They got to hang out with Jeremy Hammond. They got to hang out with a lot of cool people. I don't know if that makes it onto any of the major streaming platforms. The documentary itself is for, I guess, what you would consider both a European and a German version of PBS. It's called Arte, A-R-T-E, and then there's another one, I believe it's WDS, and those two are kind of like our American PBS, or a couple of the more documentary-style BBC ones, or I know there's one up in Canada too that's like that, but so it's just two channels, one that's Europe-wide, one's that's German, that are public and that are available for everyone there. So they might be on the web. I might be able to get copies. One of the other documentaries that never aired here, they sent me a DVD of. The Japanese one, I think I still have that somewhere in a box from NHK. Excuse me. The fall is setting in here in New England, and it kills me. It absolutely kills me. Yeah, DWS. Yeah, so yeah. So in art, art is huge. Art, however you pronounce it. I'm just going to say art. So it was for them. And I think it was done really well. I think it's telling the right version of the story. I think it's, very truthful to what we did and why we did it. So we'll see how they edit it, Yeah. What do we got going on here? Can everyone see? I don't know where my finger is here. There we go. The GH up there in the window, is that a thing people can actually see? Anna put those up there, and I just can't tell if they're too small to be visible or not, because the screen I've got where I can see the stream over here is 360p, so it's all that would fit on the screen. Itty bitty little, I can't even see that I'm wearing glasses. It's so small. So I have no idea. I bet if I go back here, I can see. Oh yeah, they're up there. Okay, OBS way over there. That's kind of neat. Someone gave me those as a gift a few years ago, and I didn't even realize she had put them up there until I went to film last week and do the first episode back here, and she had put those up there. I think it's neat. I like it. Okay. So yeah, I think we've tested everything. Anything that anyone wants to talk about? Anything? I mean, I've got a good 5-10 minutes here before I actually have to leave. I've got some stuff to do today. Anna's job, my wife's job, QG Pennyworth, as you know her in chat. She at her work. There are people that like to click on links they shouldn't, and I saw a computer that looked like it was 2005 a couple days ago. The pop-ups, the noises, the phone numbers, call now. We are Microsoft support. We swear, all that fun stuff. So I'm going over there and doing a little stuff for them, and it's actually going to help pay rent. So it's amazing. Yes. Looking at all the stats and kind of getting a feel for what else I want on screen. Just trying to remember what my setup was last time. And it's, as you all know, it's been well over a year since I streamed. Has it been 2? I don't think it's been 2, right? Me and dates, man. I really wish I was better with them. I remember like specific dates, like, you know, ones that stick in my head because I had no choice because of what happened the day after. Like January 21st at about 10:20 p.m. of 2008 when the message to Scientology was uploaded, and then the next day things were different from then on for me. Like dates like that stick. But it's really got to take like 500 phone calls and 4,000 emails from the press the next day for me to remember a date. Holy crap, it's been forever. What are we doing here, guys? Let's go. I'm just glad to be back. We're going to work on actually, like, you know, these are test streams, so I'm not posting to my social medias. I'm not setting them up. I'm not doing any teasers. I'm not doing any of that to drive in traffic right now. I just wanted to get the few of us around that could come and help get the setup going and everything. I figure we will probably start doing all of that next. I know I'm going to need help with some of that. I want to get to a point where enough money's coming in that, you know, I can afford to actually pay an editor properly. So after, you know, streaming days, good videos can go up the next day. As I understand it, that's a little expensive, and I'm having trouble paying rent. So it might be a little while before we get that, but at the same time, that's the kind of thing that drives traffic to the stream, which you need to make the stream make money. So it's definitely a little circular problem there. We'll have to figure that one out. Maybe I meet someone who wants to help edit for getting the thing building and you know, all that fun stuff. But I definitely don't want to be that guy who says, "Hey, edit my videos for exposure." You know, like I'm never going to be that dude. So we're gonna have to figure some of this stuff out. I've got DaVinci Resolve going. I can do the editing when I need to. Maybe the ADHD stuff that I do next week and test lands me on some meds that make me really want to do the editing and actually finish it every day. Who knows? We're going to have to find out on that one. But when I'm done with all the doctor stuff over the next week and a half or so, my streams are going to go back in a more normal direction. Yeah, they're you know, so my idea is live stream, do that on Twitch, and then the next day do 10-minute uploads or so of multiples to my main YouTube. Put the full VOD on the GreggHoush VODs YouTube, which used to be named the GreggHoush Show. So everyone's still subscribed to that was. I just renamed it. And then to take the shorts and put them on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram Reels. That I think is kind of the plan. I would love to go live at the same time on TikTok and Instagram. And Twitch actually allows you to do that. It sets you up for that. But like OBS doesn't have a way to develop a scene that is vertical and a scene that is horizontal and then send each to different streaming sources. So there is a plugin for OBS that lets you build vertical scenes that are shaped correctly for TikTok and Instagram and all that. But you can't, like, say, send that one to this place and send this one to this place, even if you use something like Restream.io. So I would have to figure that out if I was going to stream to both of those, because I think that'll look kind of weird with a stream built out for Twitch going to TikTok without any editing. We'll figure it out, though. I would love to be live on both, and a friend of mine has offered to pay for a Restream.io account for me. So if that's the case, we could be good. Well, so the Twitch TOS stuff that's specific now, they've changed it. Like it was like 2 months ago or so, they made a change where you cannot live stream at the same time, multi-streaming to Twitch competing platforms that are built primarily for desktop horizontal. But you can multi-stream at the same time to mobile-first platforms that were built to be vertical and on the phone. So that exempts TikTok and Instagram Reels. And I think they did that because so many people were doing it that it was going to be impossible to fight that fight. But so now you can do, as long as the other platform you're streaming to is natively vertical on your phone. I am being asked a thing. Yeah, sure. You can ask me a question in private. Where do you want to do it? Send me a message on Discord. Send me a private message here. And I will not, of course, answer it on stream. Although it would be nice if, like, the private messages showed up here. This is kind of weird. Let's see here. All right. Let's see if I have the right user here. You can just send it there if you want. I did the whisper thing here on Twitch. Anyways, yeah, so I would love to do that. There's Atom, AITUM. They do a vertical plugin, and the idea behind that plugin is that it can record your whole stream with a scene built out for vertical, and that way you don't have to do even harder editing the next day. So I do want to use it anyways, but I would love if I could send my main scene to Twitch and then that Atom scene to TikTok. Like, that would be brilliant if it let me do it, but it doesn't seem to do that. Yeah, at the shoot yesterday for the documentary, I did bring my original mask, and I brought my newer mask. But my newest mask is still a 2013, so it's a little damaged. It's got a hole in the face and whatnot, but I don't know. I think it makes it more real. You know, I haven't gone out and gotten a new pretty one. So definitely interesting. It is what time? It is 4. This is when I said I would leave and start heading off towards the office over there. So I think I am going to end the stream here soon. What else do we want to talk about before I go? And I also just want to say thanks to everyone who showed up to these couple little streams here to help me kind of get everything tested. You know, I have this one recording so I can play around with it and go back and try and fix that echo and other things like that and just see how the recording quality is. We're going to just, get a feel for what this does. Yeah, there we go. The recording's been going long enough, I can kill it. All right, so now the question is, I've hit buttons and I want to know, am I still live? It looks like I'm still live. There we go, yeah. On my screen, the stream froze for a second. Yeah, so regular stream times and when do I plan? So I have various doctor's visits and, all the related extra stuff to those until the 11th. On the 11th, I'm going to be highly sedated, although that barely hurts me, and it really sucks because I wake up during surgeries and shit. But whatever. And it's a colonoscopy, and I should wake up right in the middle of it like I always do. But I'm still going to be dealing with that the next day and, what I had to go through to get set up for it, drinking, an entire day of, 100 ounces of laxatives and Gatorade, which is like the order I have. So I don't think I'll be ready to stream and be comfortable again until the 13th. So I'm guessing that's when the stream restarts, somewhere right around there. I don't know what the 13th actually is, but I can look down at the calendar here if it wants to open up. Let's find out. Actually, yeah, that is Friday the 13th. There we go. Yeah, so Friday the 13th is probably my next stream. That's what I'm going to aim for. As for when to stream, that's kind of an open conversation. I want Mac to be able to come for evening streams after his day job. And I want us to be able to go back to doing the informative, covering the latest, greatest, giving our opinions on it, interacting with chat, going back and forth. I think that's really fun. I think we get a lot of fun places with that, and a lot of informative stuff happens. And so there will definitely be evening streams for that. The question is, how many times a week can he do that? I'm hoping it's 2. We'll see. It might be only 1. That's a conversation me and him are having next week on one of the small, portions of time I have in between all the doctor stuff. And so I'm thinking there might be some day streams that I do on my own, then some night streams with him, and then some night streams that I do on my own. If I could get like 4 or 5 streams in a week, that would be really where I felt happy. That would be an amount that I feel like I'm putting in the effort to actually grow this and make it into something. I feel like if I do 1 a week, this will never grow into anything. I won't be able to build up the user base. I won't be able to rebuild the following or any of that. You remember I used to go live and, 400 people could show up. And, well, some of that was Cortaner. Some of it was me. And we could have kept building up from there. And so I'm hoping to kind of get back to those numbers early and then start building from there. I'm not against that idea, honestly. There's some systems out there that I think I could probably play around with that allow you to upload your VODs and turn them into podcasts that go out to all the systems. I wouldn't be against that. So that might be it. And we could do a little thing where we make sure to talk about the fact that, this is a live show and all that, at the beginning, at the end, maybe a mid-roll. Exactly. Like, all the early week stuff was always building up to that big Friday show where we would go for 4 or 5 hours, I haven't even, with everything going on for me for the last year, I haven't even seen the new 420 Chan. Is that... do I want to see this? Am I gonna be okay with what I'm pulling up on my screen here? And is it .org still? Founded on that, however, recently. What? I actually did not know this. Wow. Okay. Frederick Brennan, Hot Wheels himself, has bought 420 Chan in August or in April. Oh, wow. Way back. Okay. Holy crap. Well, then. And of course, it was $4,200 because 420 times 10. I absolutely love it. The goal is for the site to be owned by a nonprofit. Plans to rebuild from scratch. However, you'll have to settle for that. I have no idea. I had no clue this had happened. I've just not been paying attention this year too terribly much. It does say coming soon, and that's all we get. So who knows? All right, everyone. I think the idea is 3-4 would be the average number of streams a week, and randomly there might be that 5th if, I've got the time to maybe just do something stupid, some variety thing, some gaming or something, whatever the latest, greatest thing is. Every week you'll find out that every streamer in the world is playing this one game. Like a couple months ago was that game Only Up that everyone went nuts for. I kind of want to play those. They look fun. It looks fun finding a thing and watching everyone else doing them and speedrunning them and all that. And so I might do one stream that's like just stupid like that. That could be that 4th or 5th stream every week. Who knows if it's the first, second, third, or fourth, or fifth one, because I would want Friday to be more of the discussion stuff. But yeah, that's kind of the plan, to get as many going as I can and get this building and get the editing going on the days in between. So there we go. I am going to head out. I'm going to go do this thing over at the office there and actually earn some money for, it's been forever. I'm going to get a paycheck for something. That's a miracle. I might pay rent even. Holy crap. If anyone wants to donate $3,600 for rent, that would be helpful. But I'm only joking. I haven't paid rent, but I will be paying it tonight. So thank God. Anyways, everyone, let's go. Thanks for all the help. Thanks for getting everything going here. Thanks for helping me find that echo earlier. And we will be back on the 13th. So I will see you guys then. Thanks, everyone.